Hi there, it's Jennifer Nassi, Body and Soul Clarity Coach at jennifernassi.com. And this month we are going to focus on those pesky hormones. I had a lot of women respond to me when I asked what they wanted to know about, and one of the top things they wanted to know were, what the heck do I do about my hormones? Either they recognized something was off, but they weren't sure what to do about it, or they weren't sure how it was all connected and how it all related, or they were confused about how do I even know if my hormones are out of balance and what the heck do I do? So I'm going to attempt to share some things this month around hormone health because it is something that is really important for all of us. So here we go. When we look at hormones, hormones are the chemical messengers in our body, so they have a very important job. They also have to be in relationship to each other. So if one gets thrown way off, then it throws all the others off as well, which is why we can have such a huge range of symptoms and why when women come to work with me around hormone stuff, often they have a number of them that are out of sync at the same time. So for example, two of the biggest culprits that I see are the hormones we release around stress and also with our blood sugar. So when our blood sugar is going up and down, we're on that blood sugar roller coaster. Our body is trying to control it by pumping out more insulin. Insulin is a hormone. So again, all those hormones have to be in relationship to each other. So it's gonna throw other stuff off if our body is constantly trying to figure out this insulin balance, this blood sugar balance. With stress, same kind of thing. So we produce so much cortisol, so much adrenaline, all of those stress hormones, and we sometimes blow through them because we're triggered all the time. How often do you feel like you have that day where you wake up and you are just running from pillar to post, as my mom would say, and you don't even have a moment to really breathe. You sit down to eat, but you're just shoveling your food. You're not even really thinking about it, or you're trying to do a bunch of other stuff at the same time. And then, maybe you crash and watch some TV at night, but then you're getting upset because you feel like you just wasted all this time and now you got to start thinking about tomorrow. And we go to bed and all of a sudden we're up again and it's the same thing the next day. It's really draining. And our system doesn't know the difference between that kind of stress, between the I'm stressed about work, my boss is a jerk, I'm in a fight with my partner, I don't know how I'm going to get everything done kind of stress, versus the I'm being chased by a lion, I got to get the heck out of here kind of stress. So the chemical reaction in our body is the same. It's just that in the past, we would have gotten out of that stressful situation and then we would have relaxed, we would have calmed down, and our system would have turned that stress response off. And these days, we don't often give it a chance to do that. So if you hear me talk about stress a lot, it's because it's such a big key piece of the puzzle. And the reason is our bodies are very smart. If we are stressed and we're running out of the cortisol that we need to continue that stress response in our body does something called pregnenolone steal. What that means is pregnenolone is considered the mother hormone. Your sex hormones are made from it, so your progesterone, your estrogen, all of that good stuff. Well, your body in a stressed state says, heck, I don't need to worry about getting pregnant if I'm trying to get out of this stressful situation. I need to get out of this stressful place first. So it does a pregnenolone steal. It steals some of that mother hormone to make more stress hormones so that you can deal with the stress. But that means now you don't have enough to make the other hormones you need for your body to work well. So all of a sudden now our thyroids are getting sluggish, our estrogen and our progesterone are going wonky. So across the board, this can impact our whole system. So these are just two examples of how everything is intimately connected. And these are the ones I often see as some of the biggest triggers. Yes, you can have something going on with your thyroid or your sex hormones independent of these things. It's not very often that I don't see stress play a huge part of it though, and blood sugar. So those are pieces we really want to look at, okay? So is this more complicated than what I can fit into a 5-minute video? Yes, and that's why women come and work with me on all this stuff and we break it all down and look at all of these things. But at the very least, in a nutshell, know that all of this stuff is related. And while that might sound overwhelming because it's like, oh my gosh, you mean all my hormones can be off and what the heck do I do? Well, the good news is because it's all related, as you start changing something in one area, it's going to impact everything as well. So we start weaning off the refined sugars and we start working on balancing out that blood sugar. We start reducing stress and doing things to take care of ourselves and give ourselves breaks during the day. That is going to impact you across the board, okay? So my next video is going to talk about symptoms that can clue you in to having a hormone imbalance. How the heck do you know if your hormones are off? So stay tuned for that video. It's going to be coming to you next week. And please let me know, again, your questions, your ahas. I absolutely love hearing from you. Connect with me on the Facebook page. It's a great way to get more tips. I often post articles and different things there. And I hope you find this interesting and helpful, because this is a key piece, again, to how you tick, how you run, and most importantly, how you feel. Until next time, take care.